I want to kind of have Dylan kind of get the ball rolling on it here. And this is terrified of spiders. So James from Indiana said, I want to move to Hawaii and eventually buy a house there, but I'm terrified of spiders. I'm asking, what would be the best place to move to in Hawaii where there are no big spiders or no spiders at all? I can deal with the very small, with the very flea or dime size one, but the big ones and the dangerous ones, I'd rather not see. Please help. Thanks. Well, James, I'll give you a quick one here. If you don't want to have like big giant spiders, buy the $5 million condo that Scott's selling. That'll help. But I got a quick. I want to hear your big spider story. I remember one night, I go into my bedroom, and we have a single family home on ground level, and I go into my bedroom, and there's this giant cane spider that's bigger than my hand. It's bigger than my hand, right? It's bigger than my hand, and it's on the wall. First time I saw a spider that was that big, I was like, "What the heck was that?" Grabbed the broom, knocked it down, and took care of it. So, Dylan, what do you say to James, who is terrified of spiders?
Well, the first thing is you have nothing to be afraid of because we don't have any poisonous spiders here. So that's the first kind of factual thing. The second thing is kind of got to get over it because Hawaii has bugs. Like, there's all the good things about Hawaii. People are that don't like bugs. I mean, unless you're like tenting your house every month, it's pretty hard to keep them out of your house. You're gonna have bugs. But like you said, top story of a condo is probably your best bet. Or if you live in South Kona, like in Ocean View, where it's like lava fields, there's not as many bugs because it's dry and there isn't a lot of dirt and stuff like that. Not a lot of foliage. So that may be your best bet if you want to just live in a regular house, not a condo. But you can't avoid bugs in Hawaii.
Can't avoid bugs in Hawaii, especially like flying cockroaches. Scott, what do you do to avoid? What's the spiders like around where you're living, or what do you tell clients like James, who is terrified of spiders?
Yeah, if you don't want bugs, you probably got to move to Arizona or something where it's really arid because bugs and spiders and the whole 9 yards. It's here. I don't ever really deal with. I never get them in my condo or anything. So in a condo, you're probably going to be a little safer. But even the cockroaches are almost the size of your hand and they fly. They can be pretty nuts and intimidating. But, Hawaii is also neat because I can go out hiking. I don't have to worry about snakes. I don't have to worry about poisonous, insects and things or any mountain lion or anything else attacking you. You can go without care and thought. I will tell you a story. When I was living on the Big Island, my back was killing me. For some reason, I had the mattress on the floor, and I went to sleep, and I was at a house, and I was sleeping on the floor, and I woke up, and I was like, ow, what is that? It stung me. And then it did it again, and I finally got up, and it was a centipede about the size of my hand that happened to somehow get into my bed and stung me twice. Oh, man, I felt violated because I was asleep. I got attacked without having any preparation.
Attack while you're attacked by centipedes while sleeping. Joyce is chiming in. I also hate spiders, but never been an issue here in Holualoa. Never been an issue in Holualoa. I think centipedes are scarier. The B-52 flying roaches are bigger than spiders. Yeah, flying roaches, man. I mean, I got a flying roach story I'm going to save in a minute. And Joyce also commented, Dylan, on that house. The Kakaako home looks great. Beautiful neighborhood. Telling my husband Chris to offer services as a gardener. There you go. Get Chris. Get Chris. Talk to Dylan. They're gonna need some gardening services. And looks like Jim is like brushing up on his Hawaiian. Hele mai kai, everyone. All right, man. Jim. All right. And that's hela or hele. I'm not too sure, but regardless, Jim, God bless you on learning your making moves to learn your Hawaiian. So okay. So look, let's do a quick diversion here. What's your favorite bug story? So here's my favorite bug story. My favorite bug story is we had my nieces, my brother and my nieces were visiting from the mainland, and this is and I've got two girls, and they were at this time they're all about the same age, and they're all kind of around 8-year-old range. So my daughters are used to bugs in Hawaii because they were born and raised here. My nieces aren't used to it. So we're all sitting on big family thing. We're sitting down, we're watching a movie, right? Watching a movie on our big screen TV, and while in the middle of the movie, a giant B-52 cockroach walks across the middle of the screen, right in front of everybody. And of course, my nieces start screaming. They start screaming, and so the light goes on, and this roach is walking across that they've never seen before. As the roach is slowly walking across the screen, when we turn on the light, the roach freaks out and opens up its wings and starts flying around. And now now my daughters are starting to scream because the other are starting to scream. So I got four screaming girls running around the house being chased by a flying roach. That is my killer bug story. So Dylan, I want to hear, because you got to have because Big On's got more natural stuff going on. What's your favorite bug story, Dylan?
Oh, my favorite or worst bug story is a centipede story. So this is my second son was just born, maybe like a month or two, and he's in the bed with us, and my wife had felt something like brush across her foot in the bed, and she looked and lifted up the covers and looked, and there was a centipede in the bed. So she of course grabs the baby, jumps out, hits me, wakes me up, says, "Get out of the bed, there's a centipede." And I proceed to start taking the bed apart, and so I take the covers off, take the sheets off, take off all the pillows, and I can't find this centipede. And it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and of course we're not going back to sleep until we find this thing, because it's got to be somewhere. And I deconstruct the whole bed, take the mattress off, take the box spring off, and we had picture frames like stacked underneath the bed stored, and I start taking these off one by one, and this thing is on the second to the last picture frame. Like somehow it had gotten down and hid in this picture frame. So I finally found it, and it was like 6 inches long. It was this big, huge centipede in the bed with us. Crazy. So I would be more worried about centipedes than spiders. I mean, because they can actually sting you, and it sucks. So there is a poison. It's not just a bite from teeth, so to speak, that hurts. There's a poisonous element to the. Oh yeah, they do have poison. Yeah.
Yeah. And
they're super hard to kill. That's the thing about centipedes too. I tell people the thing you want to use against centipedes is tongs, because you need to grab them and hold them. Because if you hit them with a shoe or something like that, they'll just like pop up and like they just keep going. It's really hard to kill them. So you kind of have to grab them with something and then cut their head off, or throw them in the toilet and flush them down the toilet or something. But you can't physically. I mean, they're really tough creatures.
They've got that armor. There's armor around there.
You can't hit them with a newspaper or something. It's not going to work.
That exoskeleton will protect them. All right, Scott, what's your best Hawaii bug story?
Yeah, I had to go teppanyaki on that centipede that got me. And it kept moving. It kept moving around. It was terrible. I actually had a buddy of mine who was over here, and I didn't realize how scared he was of cockroaches. And the cockroaches came into the condo, and it started to fly around, and the lights were on, and he started screaming at the top of his lungs. He jumps up on the couch, and he won't go anywhere near it. I was laughing. I could hardly even deal with the cockroach. I was laughing at him so hard.
Oh man, that's a good. I got to add in one more that just popped in my head about cockroaches. So that we had this one time when my brother was visiting. And we're staying in the same room, so we're sleeping on the same bed, and it's middle of the night, and I'm asleep, and it's one of these things where I'm completely asleep, but I'm somehow conscious, and I feel a cockroach crawling over my body, right? And so I feel the cockroach kind of crawling over my body, and I say, oh wow, kind of in the back of my head, I'm asleep, but I'm somewhat conscious. Oh wow, there's a cockroach. And then a second or two later, I hear, "Oh man, Dad is swearing and everything, cussing and swearing," because the cockroach went over my brother, who was like at that time, new to cockroaches, and it was just kind of hilarious to kind of be like in this weird state where I'm half asleep, half awake, and bam, cockroach kind of crawls across me and ends up on my brother, and my brother goes crazy. So Patrick, tongs, man, grab them with tongs and chop off their head.